and welcome. Good morning, everyone. This is Isha Rehan, and with me I have been joined by my co-host Fahim Bangish. Today on Pakistan TV, we bring to you a special transmission of national spirit.
We have our guest lined up, and that is Dr. Auqaab Alizai. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Auqaab Alizai, and welcome to Pakistan TV, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
It's great to have you here, and I think we're going to direct our first question to Dr. Auqaab. As a geostrategic expert, I really want to ask you that a year later, the battlefield is quiet, but the aftermath of this conflict is very evident, right? So India is facing the consequences of its actions. Diplomatically, it has been shunned. It had to give a lot of explanation in regards of wreckages and damages, and alongside facing the sheer embarrassment of not being able to build the narrative that it wanted to. How is India now facing the consequences of this misadventure against Pakistan?
I think we need to recognize that India, irrespective of how many people see it, in Pakistan especially, but the world does see it slightly differently. It is a large country, it's a large power, and it felt very humiliated with what happened. So we have to recognize ourselves that we can't become complacent in this. And I find that India has been looking at this with a different lens as well, because as we would, if we faced such a humiliation, we didn't. We brought the humiliation onto them because they attacked us. That they have to recalibrate themselves. They have to look up what they are doing. And the fact of the matter is, they should realize that we were here to balance deterrence. They thought they could get away with trying to utilize a small immediate operation and abuse our sovereignty, our territorial sovereignty, and within their incursions and aircraft and their strikes and our territory, our sovereignty. But they were absolutely mistaken in this. And I think it's very important to realize that India has been going through this kind of process where it's gone into introspection. There's been a lot of pressure inside India, and we have to see this as well. We have to recognize that what we did was phenomenal. What we did was phenomenal, and
Absolutely.
We defeated them and openly humiliated them. But we also recognize that we can't become complacent in this. We have to recognize we have to continue our military preparedness and remain high, and our diplomatic activity. As we've engaged the world, we've become the center of the world in many ways diplomatically. We have to maintain that and rise above small shots at India in the respect, and we've risen above. We won. Let's move on and build ourselves. India is going to think about what it can do, and we've got to...
Yes.
Right, Dr. Alizai, sorry for interjection, but I must quote the Chief of Defence Forces. While he was addressing the GHQ today, he did mention categorically and unequivocally the historic defense deal that Pakistan has made with Saudi Arabia. The fact that that is something of a huge significance, a huge importance. Could you shed some light on that?
The mutual defense agreement establishes a very secure relationship with us and Saudi Arabia. The fact of the matter is, this shows our other aspects. We are a military power. We are the only nuclear power in the Muslim world. And Saudi Arabia, being home to the venerable and sacred Medina and Makkah, is important for us more than anything, really. I think this is fundamental, really. It's not just any old country. And for the fact that this is a mutual relationship, this is a give and take on both sides. This is a way where we build up relationships with other countries. This defense pact that we have with them is to have mutual assurance of each other, so that in any condition, if India even thinks about attacking us again, for whatever reason, Saudi Arabia, it is incumbent upon them to put pressure on India in many ways, which it can, because it's a large economic power. Oil, India depends absolutely on Saudi oil, and that's very important for us.
Now, Dr. Alizai, today, the Chief of Defence Forces did mention that this effort has positioned Pakistan globally as a true peacemaking nation. Now, my question to you, was this a starting point? Because before this event started, India was, it was trying its best to isolate Pakistan diplomatically, economically, on all fronts it was trying to isolate Pakistan. Do you think that led to Pakistan being a neutral mediator between two warring parties? Did that lead to more and more countries trusting Pakistan in perhaps mediating in very important affairs?
I think this was a very big change and a turning point for the way the world actually sees us. India's narrative has not just been recent, it's been for decades. If you understand Western media, and especially American media, India has had strategic agreements to insert the idea of India within the American establishment, and then the wider public put it into the psychology and socially conditioned Americans within believing that India will be supporting them and it will be the vanguard against a future China, for example. That's the ideology that they've placed. And in doing so, they also targeted Pakistan thoroughly, put it into the mindset through media collaboration between Bollywood and Hollywood. If you notice all the films, there's always an Indian in many of the new series and the films that come out who establish themselves as one of these weak people, but a friendly person. That's how the Americans see them. Weak, but friendly. Now, they established that over decades. That's a strategic, and we vanished it virtually within a few days. And the point of the matter is, this was a victory that rested on deterrence.
With that, thank you so much, Dr. Auqaab and Dr. Asma, for joining us here on Pakistan TV and sharing your thoughts and opinions on MARKA-E-HAQ.